Stell dir vor, dein Körper könnte selbst regulieren, was ihn belastet. So wie ein Ökosystem, das sich selbst ins Gleichgewicht bringt. Genau das ist möglich. In meiner Arbeit verbinde ich die wichtigsten und fundamentalsten Elemente miteinander, die dich langfristig wieder zurück in Regulation, Energie und Wohlbefinden führen. Das Leben ist komplex, aber Gesundheit muss nicht kompliziert sein. Hier lernst du, wie du deine Symptome nicht nur managst oder unterdrückst, sondern transformierst. Ohne Dogmen, aber mit Struktur, Wissenschaft und der Weisheit deines eigenen Körpers. Die Inhalte in diesem Podcast basieren auf meinen persönlichen Erfahrungen und meiner persönlichen Expertise als Gesundheitscoach. Sie ersetzen keine ärztliche Beratung oder Diagnose. Bei gesundheitlichen Beschwerden konsultiere bitte immer einen Arzt oder Heilpraktiker. Ich übernehme keine Haftung für Maßnahmen oder Experimente, die auf den Informationen aus diesem Podcast beruhen. Ich bin Philipp Brinkmann und das ist Brink Health, dein Podcast für proaktive Gesundheit. Jetzt wünsche ich dir viel Spaß beim Zuhören und viele gute Learnings. Man, it's great to have you back on the show. I was inspired by the last episode and we had many talking in between. We connected. We talked a little bit even on Saturday. And first of all, welcome back on my podcast. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much, Philip. I'm also very pleased, and it's always, I feel also inspired talking to you every time about all of those aspects that are crucial for us, right, in life, basically. Yeah.
Last episode, we've covered a lot of your, let's say, philosophy program, how you holistically put things together, how you connect the dots in your work.
Yeah.
And also you shared your personal story, many things. It was very interesting and inspiring how you work with people. And we had this topic of nutrition, basically. We entered ketogenic nutrition, essential ketogenic nutrition, how you call it, the essentials of it, not just ketogenic, and how it connects to other aspects of health and of life, how metabolic problems are not just about eating, like it can be a big part, and sometimes there are other things, triggers, aspects of it to include until you, let's say, get on the path to full recovery. So many aspects. So everybody who's in this, who's listening now and has not listened to the first episode, I recommend also listening to it. So we connect the dots of these two episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
In your how to say it in your terms. But today we want to focus a little bit more about breathing, the power of breathing, of breath, normal breathing, like what is normal breathing and all these kind of things. How about breathing Buteyko? And you're a Buteyko teacher and Buteyko expert. I'm a Buteyko teacher. Maybe an expert, I don't know, but making my way into it and working with it now for a couple years. So I just think we start because we're both Buteyko teachers, and maybe not everybody is familiar with what is Buteyko. They heard about breath work and this kind of things, but not necessarily about Buteyko. And the world of breath work has so much methods and techniques to offer. It can be very confusing for people, I think.
That's right.
That's what I experience when people also work with me. They have done Wim Hof before. They have done holotropic breath. They have done some extreme other breathing techniques, all kind of things. But Buteyko, once you get into it, kind of is a special approach, let's say, in the world of breathing. Exactly, that's what I think, because the methodology is very dense and very safe and very health oriented, long term. So, maybe first of all, in your words, like, what is the Buteyko method? What is the essence of it? What would you say?
Good question. Basically, Buteyko method is a method of normalization of normal human evolutionary breathing patterns, which is basically just a restoration of normal regulation. And here, the word normal, we talked about it last time, I think. The word normal is a strong word. It's a strong word, very, very strong word. So it's basically, it's not just a Well, it's a method, yes, but it's about restoring normal physiology. Um, Buteyko is about recovering normal automatical breathing patterns when you are not aware about your breathing. And this is measurable. And that's what makes Buteyko uh, different from all the other things. He
Yeah.
defined a pathway. He defined basically a path to normal breathing. He defined how to measure it. He told us, he gave us some aspects, some tools to understand what stops stop for stopping something that distorts breathing. It's a very big part of it. And also something that is crucial, and I talk a lot with Buteyko's son. Um,
Mhm.
um, we connect sometimes online um,
With the Vladimir Buteyko
with
or the
Vladimir
Vladimir?
Buteyko. Yeah,
Mhm.
with Vladimir Buteyko. He likes to talk about the aspects um, a little bit higher aspects than physiology, which is
Mhm.
basically um, about moderation. What Buteyko was teaching us about moderation, about um, basically life science, so to say, how
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
how to change our life so we become connected. So what you can use spiritual terms like, for example, connect with the source or
Mhm.
whatever, but
Mhm.
um, but he likes to really talk about the higher aspects. It's about life itself, and I believe I kind of uncovering those aspects of Buteyko, the latest, I mean, the last years, it was when I'm talking now, I renamed, for example, my community,
Mhm.
my newest community to Hara Practice
Mhm.
Academy, because I basically start to understand what he meant and how breathing connects with everything in our life, with actually establishing a very strong life process and life energy process.
Mhm.
That is very inspiring. And that was also a term basically from one of my big inspirations, just like Buteyko, is Stefano Sabetti, a philosopher, Italian
Mhm.
American philosopher, Stefano Sabetti, which I'm a follower of, and I'm studying him, using his works in my teaching.
Mhm.
And yeah, so it's life energy process, and I like this term. And that's what Buteyko is for me. And
Yeah.
also connects with breathing, with movement, with immunity, with all of
Mhm.
those aspects. Um, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Got it. That's a strong or nice entry to this topic because yeah, it makes clear that it's we don't just do breathing exercises to for the sake of doing breathing exercises or to be able to breathe in a certain pattern, but the pattern actually is created through life, through the lifestyle, and the goal is not just to have a good, like, say, breathing values or numbers, which is
Hmm.
a proof that it's good, but it's actually about energy, is what you say. So
Hmm.
the number is like it leads us somewhere, it shows us our process or progress, but actually it's about energy, it's about life, moderation, have a good life. I think that's very nice. Like it makes the picture bigger. Like we don't just want to get obsessed with breathing exercises. We want to um, like we have a strong first in the first time, like first month, year, or we learn this. We have to invest energy and time and do all the exercises, but then it kind of gets natural for us and we become more efficient and we can just live our life and not think about the breathing all the time, not think about eating all the time. It's just there, right?
Exactly. And there are two aspects in this I want to open up for. And the first aspect is that Buteyko talked about the essence of the method is structure and relaxation. And
Structure
that's
and
why,
relaxation.
yeah, and that's why just being obsessed with exercises and going for some measures normally alone doesn't lead to good results long term.
Yeah.
Because people are normally what I see, people are pushing. They learn somewhere about Buteyko version where you really try to do your best, so to
Mm-hmm.
say. And it's
Mm-hmm.
the same, like it was a sport or
Mm-hmm.
something, like it was an exercise, that
Yeah.
it was about, number of repetitions, about distance, about speed, about time, about intensity.
All the
But
fallacies.
all the fallacies, in reality, it's about the depth of relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's the first aspect. So it's very crucial to understand not what to do, what to reach, but how to do it. So the how is more important than what.
Great.
Okay. That's
I
the first one.
I agree.
Yeah. And the second one is, and that's what I'm kind of preaching to my own clients, to my own followers, that remember, it's only about exercises in the start, but long term, I really want you to forget everything about exercises and make the different aspects of this technique available for you in different states while you're doing some particular actions in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, when you are driving a car, I have a mode, a state that I like to be in that is totally connected with the Buteyko philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me better human being and makes me enjoy life in this very moment while I'm
Mm-hmm.
driving and be very secure in the road and being present at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a state that I'm basically teaching people in my new program. Uh, you know, uh, I made a small mini program about Hara point
Mm-hmm.
training, and all of those exercises I'm giving people in these. In this mini course. Also, when you're washing dishes or when you are present, when you are watching a presentation or something else, when you are in a conversation with a person or you are in contact with your loved human being, which can be your fiance or your partner or your son or your daughter, you know, that's the state I want you to teach you, to show you the path how to effectively come into the states to experience
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
environment
Mm-hmm.
from the point of presence.
Mm-hmm.
And that connects us to survivability, to that connect human survivability in the toxic environment. That connects us also to what we call resilience, physical, immune, mental resilience, and
Mm-hmm.
that's about states. It's just a good place to be. That's
Mm-hmm.
a prerequisite for us to be able
Mm-hmm.
to enter those states. They have to be nice to experience, and this
Yeah.
place is very nice place to
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's Buteyko. That's
Mm-hmm.
also Buteyko. I like to put it that way.
Yeah. Totally agree. It's like this. I mean, I've gone through this process as well, and I like to explain it with my progress in meditation. For example, I was meditating before Buteyko a long time. Then I learned Buteyko. After all the learning, went back to more like just sitting and meditation, and I could experience it. The state is different. The amount of relaxation during meditation is very different. But then, just like you say, also in daily life, which is even more important, we don't just want to be like feel energetic and free and content when we sit somewhere alone. We want to have it while we experience life with people
Exactly.
driving the car, just like you say, going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
supermarket, and to basically keep this state, which is almost for me like a meditative state, a high level Buteyko.
But that's what I know your background in martial arts
Mhm.
also, just
Yeah.
like mine. And in martial arts, samurai.
Mm-hmm.
system is an interesting thing to learn. And they
Mm-hmm.
have those aspects like living silence, for example. It's called living silence or stillness in action to
Mm-hmm.
describe this state. So they've been using it for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think just for just because it's interesting, I think it would be very nice to know what kind of, let's say, breathing values a high level samurai would have, you know? Like
Yeah.
we cannot know today. I mean, it's quite obvious that people from the past, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, they wouldn't need a Buteyko program because life was different. Breathing was
Mm.
on average much better, even without
Yeah,
retraining.
absolutely, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
but today it's 2026. We have we have built this highly modern technology world, which is a progress in some way, but it's also overwhelming. And we are suffering at the moment. I'm not saying it's all bad, but at the moment we are suffering because we're not adapted to this. And also the breath,
Exactly.
so the breathing also suffers. So we cannot control it. And this is not where our biology comes from. So we have a very special work to do.
Absolutely agree. And I believe, also with samurai term, there's another form for control. Um, it's called a kind of a smooth control.
Hmm.
A smooth control, like gentle control. It's a little bit different. It's when you are trying control, not by directly controlling something that you want under control, but by being in the state that allows you to open up and to react better on something that you want to be connected with.
Hmm.
And that's the idea from the samurai books. Actually, a lot of things are described in samurai books that I have on my shelf
Hmm.
about breathing, about those states, and it's possible to learn. And I believe well, for me, it's a very big source of inspiration, martial arts and the sources of modern martial arts
Hmm. Yeah,
also. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's a very long tradition. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
and
deep,
I
deep
yeah, and I
tradition.
believe
Mm.
they needed this resource too, the samurai, because they needed, for example, to avoid thoughts about death. That was the main part, because the thoughts about death, they push you into the realm of thoughts and
Mhm.
feelings.
Mhm.
And when you are a martial artist, or not a martial artist, but a real a samurai, it's not about martial art. It's not an art. It's actually a real combat, right?
Mhm.
And you don't want to be in the realms of thoughts and feelings. You
Mhm.
want to reside all the time in the realm of senses,
Mhm.
because the senses will save your ass, so to say. Excuse my
Yeah.
French.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the thoughts and feelings in
Yeah.
the real combat.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, can eventually turn deadly.
W- Yeah, which was back in the days, which was like two swordsmen
Yeah.
and only one survives. Usually, it's a totally different like yeah. If you are in your head, in your thinking, in your thoughts, making plans, you're done. Uh,
Yeah, and that's the source of hara. That's why I
yeah.
like Japanese, because they
Mm.
martial arts,
Yeah.
because they have only one point, not three like in Chinese tradition, not seven like in the oldest tradition, in the Indian
Mm.
tradition, but just
Mm.
one. And I
Mm.
love this single point of attention very
Mm.
much. That's why I called my school, my academy, Hara
Yeah.
Practice Academy, because when I mean, in the, that's the most important part. That's
Mm.
basically what makes us, what can make us be happy for this very moment.
Mm. Yeah, there's nothing else. No.
There's nothing else.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And then
Yeah.
it opens up for more efficient absorption of other things like
Hmm.
learning, you know,
Hmm.
things.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, this kind of state. mind and achieved through breathing also, like a foundational state to act to all kinds of things in life, basically.
Yeah, to be better human being,
Yeah,
both for yourself and for the
for you,
others.
yeah, for yourself and for others.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel that too. That it's much more like it's so much more than just values, and it's so much more than just physiological health, but even the even the effects on the physiology are insane and great if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
if you can
fantastic. Yeah.
if you have a normal breathing, which we can talk later. What is normal, according to Buteyko and
Yeah.
his findings, but
Yeah.
yeah, just not with the extreme breathing, and then you're in the state. No, just normal breathing,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Just normal breathing.
just normal breathing.
Just normal breathing. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, great connection also to other things, philosophy, martial art, life in general. I see it too. And I'm trying also to guide people more towards this kind of mindset during coaching. Don't
Yeah.
get obsessed with the numbers, follow the process. There will be 1 or 2 days sometimes where the values are lower. Something was going on in life. There was this, there was that. Don't become frustrated. Just keep stay in the process. You know, uh,
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
values will
exactly.
increase. Just stay in the process. Stay relaxed.
Yeah.
Have trust.
Yeah.
And I also liked what you said with the samurai mindset or philosophy. I
Yeah.
was also thinking about, which is probably the same, just different terms, like the
Hmm.
Taoist, like the
Yeah.
Chinese,
Yeah.
like pressure creates counter pressure. So what
Exactly.
these
Yeah.
these universal principles. So whenever you try, because you said trying to control the breathing
Hmm.
is creating extra pressure, and then you can't really control it. So the state matters, the relaxation matters.
Yeah,
Mm.
but exactly. So you have to actually slip control. And
Mm.
this is much harder than we think for the most of the people. For the most of the people, it's really, really hard to slip control.
Yeah, we've been taught to always try to control everything, right?
Yeah, we've been taught to control everything. Yeah, and that's the only way is to
Mm.
control, to be yeah. And this is
To
no.
use energy, use force, use strength to I don't know,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
even climb the hierarchy and think you're supreme or whatever, but maybe not the way to go in health and well-being and feeling connected to life.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And also because I work a lot with people that have cancer, that's one of the biggest problems to detach from fear because they have very, very hard time.
Yeah.
They really want results, and we can understand that.
Mm.
But there's this controversy, or basically a paradox. You really need to slip the will to have something to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and when it happens, it will happen,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And when
Mm-hmm.
you do it, it will happen. And this is a paradox which is very hard to fathom, that you have to slip control and just relax and stay in this relaxation and avoid uh, this connection of thoughts and feelings. For them, it's very, very hard. And I believe also, not only for them, but also just normal people that have, problems, serious problems of some kind. They don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be like serious, like life threatening, but
Mm-hmm.
they are serious in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, financial problems. Normally, they are not like life threatening. They are
Mm-hmm.
serious in your mind, but you can do many, many things to lessen their effect on you or change or whatever. Like for an example, okay? So it requires that you start thinking differently. You learn something, you start thinking differently, and then this problem that may have felt like threatening
Mm-hmm.
becomes virtual, more virtual. Like, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if you change your like cravings, what do you expect from life, your expectations, or you change your priorities. So
Mm-hmm.
it's also a cognitive process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very important. Like also what you say, um, when you have severe health issues, it's an extra challenge to not force the process, to not want quick results. To yeah,
Yeah,
I
slow
get it.
process. It's a
Mm,
hard one. It's a hard one.
yeah, yeah. There's is a point I think, where I can also learn a lot, like from you, because I have not been working with these kind of health issues yet. I'm working with people with health issues, but I think the most severe is like was like strong asthma,
Hmm.
which is absolutely
It's a
uh,
serious thing.
which is absolutely serious.
Yeah, absolutely,
Like
absolutely. Yeah,
medium to strong asthma. It affects the
yeah.
people on every level, on the physiological, on the psychological level. But definitely, I've not worked with cancer or anything like that. Um, but I think last this is very important because that's why I love talking to you so much, because we don't just get into the technical aspects of breathing and how many liters per minute is good and this and that. We cover all this, but I think this kind of talking about states and the philosophy of life behind it and everything, I think this is always the foundation to understand, like, and not just talk how many seconds in, how many seconds out, and this and that,
That's why I
Yeah,
also enjoy talking to you, Philip.
I think this is a foundation, and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely to think about it. Just people listening to it, and you can just take your time, hopefully, and after, and make your own thoughts. Like, so what was said? Like, what do they mean? What's going
Hmm.
on?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
states, philosophy, moderation. What's going on? And
Yeah.
you can make your own. You can make your own thinking about it. Um, Great. I think so. Last time we talked a lot of ketogenic, like this was, or nutrition, let's say. Now we have the breathing, and maybe first of all, um, you have this triangle in your let's say you have this graphic you use
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
Vitruvian man. We talked about it
Vitruvian
last
man.
time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have this triangle, then you have the energy intake efficiency is the
Yeah.
parallel, I think.
Yeah.
And for the energy intake efficiency, you have breathing and nutrition, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why do you think these connect so good? Why have these two aspects in this kind of energy intake efficiency such a strong synergistic effect?
Um, well, because you know, the key thing here to understand is how do we get energy and what are the nutrients that gives us energy. And normally you think about nutrients as as you know, something we get through the mouth.
Mm,
And in reality, one of the most important nutrients is oxygen and balance of oxygen. And it requires an effective oxygen delivery. It's not just oxygen intake. That's the thing. You have to understand that between oxygen delivery and oxygen intake, there's a pretty important mechanisms that makes oxygen available to
mm,
take in, to really take in on a cellular level. Um, okay. And we can
mm,
talk a lot about that.
mm,
And the understanding that is promoted from a standard of care is that you can just put oxygen, you just pump oxygen inside and it will do you good, uh,
mm,
which is not true.
mm.
So basically,
Paradox.
it's a paradox.
We're
So,
back to the paradoxes.
yeah, and again, in our program, there's a free course about paradoxes of health, and this is one of the paradoxes. I have a whole video about this, about the breathing paradox. So, in short terms, if I had to explain, so we have a metabolic regulator that defines actually a ratio between oxygen delivery and oxygen intake.
Mm,
And this metabolic regulator is a CO2 tolerance. How much, how do you tolerate CO2 in your body? We have some chemoreceptors in our blood that are measuring different substances in our blood, and we have special receptors in our cells for CO2, carbon dioxide. And if we have a high tolerance for carbon dioxide, we will have better oxygen intake, also with lower oxygen delivery.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
So we can actually breathe slower, that is lower oxygen delivery, right? And oxygen intake will be higher than if we had delivered more oxygen, breathing more. Interesting. Well, because
Yeah.
of, that's because of CO2.
Mm.
And if we are making this practice through relaxation, then we are making this practice, Buteyko practice, from the state of prevalence of parasympathetic over sympathetic. And the key thing is that when we're doing it from parasympathetic prevalence, we can actually rewrite automatic patterns. But if you
Voila.
but
Yeah.
if you're doing it from control, you
Mm-hmm.
are most probably will not be in the same ratio between sympathetic and parasympathetic, and you will not be allowed to rewrite automatic breathing patterns. Wow,
Oh,
that's the thing. So
that's important. That's
yeah,
important.
so and we're talking maybe to a German audience, and German
Yeah.
audience understands something about logic, efficiency, and systems, right? Sometimes
We used to. We
that's
used to.
what you're used to, right? So breathing actually sets the cost of living, so to say,
Mhm.
through logic, efficiency, and systems. And our body, and I'm an engineer, I used to work with systems and logic and efficiency also. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because logic and efficiency, a prerequisite for really dealing with those deep philosophical things is that we have to talk about life. We have to talk about life and the cost of life, cost of living. So, and that's basically, yeah. So you have to remember that oxygen delivery, how much oxygen you have in the blood, doesn't tell you anything about oxygen intake, that it's on cellular level. So blood and cell, it's about understanding delivery and intake
Yeah.
of oxygen.
Yeah. Very
That's a
important.
difference. And that's why we have efficiency in my system, which is defined as basically our resilience to the stress from the outside. We call it
Mhm.
allostatic resilience. And we have a triangle of allostatic resilience, which is mental, physical, and immune. And
Yeah.
physical and immune stands for balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic. That is regulated by your perception of your environment in your mind. Wow. Now we have a
Yeah.
system. That's Sakharov protocol. And then we can
Plus your Hara point now, right in the
and
middle.
then Hara point in the middle, because basically if you can reside in this point, then you can let the system regulate automatically.
Yeah. 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 That's where it
And
all flows back to or evolves from. Yeah.
yeah, so it has, we used to use this term deep learning, and we're
Yeah.
talking it about artificial intelligence, but we have to enable deep learning for ourselves first, for humans, because basically when we are teaching artificial intelligence with deep learning, basically the there's a controversy. There's another process that happens on our level for the most of humanity, I believe. For many of us, we are unlearning some skills that we are giving, to AI. And we have to deeply learn. And this learning occurs in the higher point.
Yeah.
So, higher point is a single point of attention.
Hmm. Yeah. Crazy. There's even just as a side note, there's even some evidence already how use of AI can like shrink your hippocampus, your learning centers in your brain. If you use it too much, you use it wrong, you get distracted all the time, and always you cannot enter the deep learning state if you're constantly on minor things, multiple things same time, and all these kind of things. You cannot
Yeah.
enter a strong, deep process or a slow process. Yeah.
No, exactly. You
Mhm.
want fast results all the time.
Yeah. So, of course, for all the German listeners, I will make again recap episodes from this where I try to repeat all your everything we talked, all the essence of our talk. So don't worry if you don't get everything. I will try my best to translate also. And yeah, for all the people who now wonder, so what about like oxygen intake, oxygen efficiency? I don't get it maybe right now. You can look up Bohr effect and these kind of mechanisms, or contact me or Misha for deeper understanding, of course.
Yeah, basically, we can just say we have a couple of words that when we're working with that, just to open up for people, we can just say those words so people are thinking about that. Because when we work with optimization of automatical breathing patterns, there are several aspects of the breathing physiology we need to think about. Those like posture. Think about posture. It affects breathing a lot to ensure structured posture, both in rest and in motion. Then we can reduce the influence of breathing muscles from other muscle groups, and we can remember this. A root, how do you get the root is kind of through the nose, both in and out. Okay, stopping completely breathing through the mouth. It's crucial. The root. The scope also is to reduce the volume of air, both in and out, but not through control, but through relaxation. Then a frequency, it's also reducing automatically number of breaths per minute, not through control,
Yeah,
but
very
through
important.
relaxation. Very important.
Yeah,
That's what makes Buteyko different
yeah,
from all the other techniques.
yeah. This actually one of the most frequent points
Yeah.
I see, or I have to reteach people who come
Yes.
from constantly checking frequencies and constantly breathing in certain patterns, like practicing box breathing all the time and these kind of
Yeah,
things,
exactly.
who have a very difficult time finding relaxation and sensing of the diaphragm and not controlling the frequency and just letting it settle by itself through all the changes we do.
Totally. This is crucial. And also some aspects like velocity, speed. When we when we reduce the speed of air flow, both in and out. And this is also not through control, but through relaxation.
Yeah.
Timing, balance, when we're prolonging this exhalation in relation to inhalation. Also, not control, not box breathing. It has to happen through good structure, relaxation of the muscles. So it's secondary. The primary aspects are where are you in your world, physical and mental. Okay, the rhythm of breathing. So when you're promoting the breathing flow without interruption, like inhale and hold, things like that. No. It has to happen. Placing. Well, people say, oh, breathe with abdominal muscles. So people breathe with abdominal muscles. Like,
Yeah.
reduce the use of breast muscles. Yes, it happens because you cannot fully diminish the use of breast muscles. It has to happen. Those muscles, they connected together. So if you start controlling it, not good things will happen because you will not be able to rewire, to reprogram your automatic breathing patterns. Also, the same thing with pauses. When you exercise, now breaks with relaxation after exhalation. I mean, the same thing. Those are fallacies because they are, we have to talk about them. We have to talk about them like as aspects of the breathing physiology, but then we have to understand what is primary aspects like posture,
Yeah.
root,
Yeah.
you know, relaxation. And there are secondary aspects that are the symptoms, so to say, and not the causes.
Basically, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's basically what I wanted to say, to let people think and understand that the matter of breathing, the realm of breathing is immense, and it's a most important part. We cannot live without breathing for a minute. Most of us, we will collapse. Without eating, we can live months. Without water, we can live weeks,
Yeah.
but not without breathing. So what is essential? Nutrient.
Yeah. And not just your protein and fat, which is essential,
No,
but it's
yeah,
also
yeah,
your oxygen, it's also your carbon
absolutely.
dioxide balance,
Yeah,
everything.
exactly, exactly. So all of those, I would say the balance is crucial. And you enable balance by starting to look at the things from the bird view
Yeah, 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 exactly.
at life.
So now we have also talked like, yeah, which was included here, what is normal, like, but
Yeah.
if we go into maybe or the philosophy behind it and the structural points to lead naturally to breathing, to good
Hmm.
breathing without unnecessary control. But so then the other aspect of Buteyko um, is also we have clear values. So we can use them as well and couple it with our senses and the whole relaxation and lifestyle work.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I'm just asking you, we have normal breathing values, right? So according to Buteyko, it's 60 seconds for the so-called control pause test.
Hmm.
And for some people, once they hear from me, for example, first like, oh, well, 60 seconds, like how many years does it take to get there? Like it seems so far away. But interestingly, even with the most foundational lifestyle changes and also the mindset, like movement, nutrition, the mindset, the states, and everything, and relaxation work. People are sometimes, that's my experience, are a bit like maybe not shocked, but wow, my numbers increase so well, but I feel like I'm not doing so much. Like maybe have one or two breathing exercises, which are just about relaxation, and the numbers climbing from week to week. But how do you think about this breathing norms from Buteyko? Like 60 seconds is according to Buteyko, is the normal, right? So
Hmm.
you try to lead people to the 60 seconds, and even 40 is very good for many people, and they feel much, much better. Like
35 is
35. Yeah.
already, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And from the statistics, we can see that the average person nowadays, without breathing retraining and not severely sick, is like 15, 20.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes starting from 5,
yeah.
not sick, but sick. Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
But
Not,
15,
not
20, yeah,
mm.
yeah, 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 I
15,
agree.
20 for the average who is not
Yeah, I
completely sick.
agree.
Like
No,
maybe,
no, no. I agree.
but not feeling that good, you know?
No, no, absolutely.
Not sleeping so good, not feeling so energetic, maybe getting sick a couple times a year and yeah,
Or more.
or more. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So in extra to all what we covered now before, we have these values. So what do you think? You also measure with your clients the values all the time, right? Like
Yeah.
every day, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Several
Yeah.
times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We have an app where people are doing this
Mm-hmm.
work, and
Mm-hmm.
we are looking at the values in our groups. In
Mm-hmm.
my groups, we are looking to inspire other people. So it's a prerequisite that
Yeah. Yeah.
and this is and all the data is basically
Yeah.
there's no name on it. It's specially made in this way. So so we can inspire each other when we share the screen.
Mm.
And so basically, I can see that already when people, sometimes, people can get high values relatively fast. We have, as I mentioned before, we had many cases where people reach 120 and 180 in control pause, and maximum pause up to 230, 220. It happens many times, actually. Very often we reach 60, but I can also see that there's some cases where we reverse cancer already at reaching 35 and 40. Stable,
Wow. Whoa.
stable 35 and 40. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
But together with other things is,
Yeah,
because
sure.
we
Yeah.
have to normalize metabolic processes. We have to stop metabolic syndrome, and that's how I work, connecting different dots.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah. So we have several cases now when we have reversed cancer already at 35,
Nice. That's very interesting point, I think.
and stage 4 cancer.
Yeah. So for everybody who not familiar with this, I mean, all the people who listened to my podcast before, they know about Buteyko measurements and all this kind of things. But just as a note here, the control pause test is a breath hold test, which is done after exhalation, completely stress-free time of breath hold, and until the first sign of stress, you
Exactly.
take your measurement and breathe again. Just for everybody, if you wonder what the CP test is a completely stress-free breath holding test to determine your let's say body oxygenation as on the cellular level, let's say.
Yeah, that's right. It's connected. Yeah.
It's a CO2 tolerance test, let's say, but the result says so much more,
Yeah. I
basically.
agree. I agree. So yeah, that's it's fantastic. I very inspired myself. I feel very inspired when I'm talking about those things.
Yeah.
It's because I feel how life-giving it is to
Mhm.
myself and also to my clients. Every day I have those sessions with my clients that I help them to feel
Mhm.
better, and
Mhm.
it's a great work. It's a great work. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, same. That's why I entered this path also and changed a little bit of how I work with people and more from like fitness goals to more health oriented.
Mm.
Because it gives you so much and you can give so much back to the people, like, and they're very happy. Like they don't just get 4 weeks quick results like we talked last time, like 4 weeks shredded,
Mm, mm, mm,
this
mm.
kind of things, but which I'm not against, um, but really helping people for the rest of their life. That's what I
It's a big
want
investment.
to
Yeah,
do.
it's a
A
big
big
investment.
investment, so they
Yeah,
can they can um, they can get the results from it for all the decades to come.
absolutely, absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, Buteyko is, yeah, it's powerful. It's very interesting. And you also mentioned like sometimes people have, for different people, it takes different amount of time to get these kind of values. If we say like 60 seconds for the CP, everybody's different. Everybody has a
Yeah,
different background in life, also in terms of health and what he's doing in life and um, conditioning, like in terms of the mental state, experiences. So some people can increase like 5 seconds a week, a control pause in the morning, 10 seconds, maybe some people just 1 or 2 seconds a week. And I think the job of us as coaches is also to always, like you do in your codes, maybe to also show people don't stress. It's normal. Like, and
absolutely, absolutely.
and I
Yeah.
think personally, people who have like slower increase in numbers
Hmm.
have it very stable later.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I'm also
Yeah,
seeing. That
yeah.
the people that have a very slow increase, it's
Mm-hmm.
very, very stable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a trade-off. You can see it like a trade-off, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a powerful one.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to use some time to get them, because in why my app is very, very important, the
Mm-hmm.
graphical interface, because they can, after 2 3 weeks of training, they can already see the trends
Yeah.
of weekly values.
Yeah.
weekly averages.
Mm-hmm.
And I say every time you see a good weekly averages, you can see good trends. You have to say to yourself, good work. You're great.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah.
You have to, because nobody will tell it. And if nobody will tell it, you will devalue this work.
Mm-hmm.
This work have to be valued, not
Mm-hmm.
devalued. This is
Mm-hmm.
very crucial. And the responsibility for this is yours,
Yeah.
not anybody else's. And that's why I'm happy that I gave this opportunity to all people to see your own graphs and to analyze and to give them tools to analyze the graphs, not only
Mm-hmm.
breathing graphs but also pulse and nutritional value and energy. We have different trends there.
Mm, yeah, yeah, it's very interesting. Also, I think it's very valuable that you have these kind of Q&As where people, because we all know this from maybe the past, like school or sports or everything, group also means comparison, competition. A
Yeah,
lot, a lot of times, or most of the time, maybe. But now you have a group setting and people put like motivate or inspire the others, like,
absolutely,
which is a
absolutely. And
different mindset.
also, yeah, and also, on the other side, I'm often telling you people, do not try to compare,
Mm,
because you can be inspired, but do not compare hardly, because it's not a competition. Because if you
mm,
feel it like competition, you will try to push. That's the thing. So
yeah.
philosophically, I am trying to empower people
Mm,
with this way of thinking. No, I don't
mm,
need to compare. I am
mm,
myself.
mm,
And what I'm doing now, I'm analyzing how my body works. And I really have to radically accept
mm,
how my body works.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
And
Maybe.
yesterday
Mm.
I made, oh, maybe I will end with this. I wrote a little poem
Ah, nice.
yesterday in Russian, but I translated it into English also.
Yeah,
And I
you
want
want to
to,
share? You want to share later,
I,
or?
yeah, I want to show later. Yeah.
Okay, nice. I'm curious now. Maybe. Do you have like I mean, you already mentioned some points, but for people who wonder now, how can I increase like my control pause? Maybe they did the test. It's 12 seconds. Okay, maybe I should increase. Do you have like the three biggest, maybe five biggest, let's say, lifestyle changes or techniques, practices to which are absolutely like crucial for increase the control pause, for example?
Mm, well, one of the most important parts is your sleep.
Mhm. Yeah.
If,
This is
if
this is this is
make
this is
Yeah.
actually one of the Buteyko. Yeah, it's special in Buteyko because it's the only method who covers the sleep, breathing, and sleep, basically.
Yeah, and we have to understand that it's not about duration of sleep,
Mm,
but about efficiency of sleep.
mm,
So that's one of the most important part, because if you do something every day, if you do some exercises, if you know, you really care about changing your way,
mm,
then the only part that defines whether or not you will succeed, that's your sleep.
mm,
Because if your sleep is bad, then it will bring you, if you have reached some good results during the day's exercise, or your good behavior, during the day, it will be rolled back by non-efficient sleep,
mm,
inefficient sleep.
mm.
And that is called not the rebound effect, but
You mean domino?
the domino effect.
Mm,
Yeah, domino effect.
mm,
Yeah, and this is very crucial. So
mm,
work with sleep efficiency, and this is a sleep hacking is a very, very big area,
mm.
you know, very, very big. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah. I also changed a lot in the sleep hygiene, sleep hacking when I learned about Buteyko. It was a key factor. I remember also in my own learning of the method, and it was a key factor to increase my control pause. First
yeah,
time, first time in the higher regions, um, like just to give some example, taping mouth at night,
Yeah.
harder mattress, no like triggers in the bedroom, having good air, good circulation,
Yeah.
these kind of things. Mm,
Yeah, yeah, so many different aspects of it. So
mm,
you really need to think. That's the most important part. Also, people that have late working hours, or they can say
mm,
that they are like they used to use nighttime, they thrive on nighttime. Then
yeah,
you have to change. You have to change the lifestyle patterns. So
yeah,
lifestyle change is the most important part.
yeah,
So it's not only about exercise and the
yeah,
results. It's also about your lifestyle.
definitely.
Overtraining, chronic stress, sleep deprivation, constant stimulation. There's many aspects
Mm,
that are silently destroying breathing patterns, and very often
mm,
without people noticing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. That's the big point. We're not noticing it anymore. You know,
Mm-mm.
you're constantly you are forced or you're pushed to constantly stay busy with stuff in the outside world, and without noticing, you're losing the breathing pattern, you're losing the energy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, very often, that's exactly what we are working about. That's
Mm,
exactly what we are working about.
yeah.
You know, that's the sleep and how to make people sleep normally. This is not easy, I can tell you, and you know that. You know that.
Yeah, because sleeping is, I mean, it can have there can be many issues to the perfect sleeping hygiene for your health. Like, for example, just one example, you maybe have a partner, like
Yeah,
sleeping in the
yeah,
same bed, the same room.
yeah,
Now we find out, okay, the mattress not good for your breathing, the room not good for your breathing, whatever not good for and sometimes you have to change things which might be uncomfortable.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just maybe interesting also for me and for the listeners, what's your sleeping schedule time? When do you go to sleep? How much hours do you need? Yeah, what's your maybe your control pause in the morning if you like to share these kind of things? Also interesting, maybe.
I'm so basically I am I'm getting up. It's a little bit different.
Mm,
Again, it's not like always like this, but most
mm,
of the time I'm getting up by myself around 5. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 4:30.
mm,
But and the most of the time I feel energized.
mm.
And that's what I want to say. That's the most that's the most important part
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, yeah,
Because
definitely.
yeah, that's what I really cherish and value
Hmm.
very much.
Hmm.
That's that's basically um, this to wake up in the morning and just smile and say and like feel that okay,
Hmm.
now woke up, I'm looking forward to
Hmm.
do my diminished breathing exercise. With I call it breathing meditation,
Hmm.
but what it basically is, that's diminished breathing exercise. So when I go to sleep, I normally I go to sleep uh, pretty early, about 10, sometimes 11. But the interesting thing that when you have strong diurnal patterns, when you have, strong biorhythms, kind of they are there, it's not a problem for me to go to sleep at 12 and
Hmm.
still wake up at 4 or 4:30.
Hmm.
It's an interesting thing somehow because I made a lot of things to make my sleep effective. And they
Yeah.
do not change whether I go to sleep at 10 or 12. They
Hmm.
those aspects not really affecting it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
Yeah, because what you're doing during the day, how do you, um, what things are you doing when you go to sleep and before you go to sleep? It affects your sleep. And I've been doing this for a long time. So my sleep is not really, the duration and the quality of my sleep is not really affected so much by
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. It's like an upward spiral because you're doing all the things right during the day.
Yeah.
Like have good breathing during the day, good energy, lots of nice movement with nasal breathing, everything we talked about, and the states, and staying content and happy with the work, and appreciating and everything, eating the right food for you.
Yeah.
And what happens? Yeah, you probably need less sleep because you're much more recovering, let's say. Also during the day you're saving so much energy, you're so efficient. So that's what we find a lot of times when people increase like breathing values, right? Like
Yeah.
sleeping time reduction. Like they needed 9 hours maybe before, then now they back to 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, maybe 4 to 5, like in your case.
Yeah.
So long term, you maybe sleep less, but you sleep better and save so much time, right? We have
Yeah.
more time to do nice things.
That's exactly what happens. That's
Mm,
exactly what happens. Yeah.
mm, yeah.
So this is good news. This is good news for
Mm,
everybody because when you get up early, when you do sleep hacking, when you connect all of those aspects with your behavior, what happens is that you have very stable energy
mhm,
and you can really enjoy your day without
mm,
the dips in energy, like when it's going down. For example,
mm,
when people experience during the day, very, very
mhm,
often, those dips in energy.
mm,
And this is the most important part for me, at least. So I believe it's a very, very good news for everybody. And I will say, remember to really look at your sleeping patterns. And if you have problems there, pay
mm,
attention because they
mm.
will define whether or not you will be successful.
Yeah, very important point.
That's about energy, and the energy has to be stable. And a lot of things there. We have to connect the dots of nutrition also, because when you are leptin
Mm,
resistance recovers, and we have good leptin sensitivity, then all of a sudden it happens that we
mhm,
can eat twice a day. And for some of us, preferably men, it can
yeah,
happen that we eat once a day, and then we have a lot of energy in our energy
yeah,
pool that is not used yet.
mm,
That that is not we don't feel like we are out of energy in the evening. We're totally like we have to. It's not what I feel. I feel that I have very, very good energy, stable, but I just feel that okay, now it's time to sleep.
mm,
I'm My body is ready to sleep, and I know that it's good for my body. So it's not because I'm out of energy. That's the difference.
yeah, yeah,
There's a surplus of energy.
yeah,
That's You will experience surplus of energy. That's the most important part, because if you want to do something with your life, you need energy.
yeah. A surplus, yeah, yeah. That's the important. Mm,
Yeah,
yeah, totally agree.
yeah,
Yeah, like what you just mentioned. Yeah, it all plays to good sleep and good breathing. Then there's this next connection you mentioned, maybe meal frequency. Maybe we talked about ketogenic adaptation last time. Once you become more ketoenergenic, maybe you move naturally from 4 meals to 2 meals. Then you don't
yeah,
have to eat late, which will again increase your numbers and your sleep. And so you have this upward spiral. And I can totally confirm from my own experience, from my own
yeah,
process with people. At the moment, for example, I'm same. I get up mostly 5 a.m. I even put the alarm to 5 a.m., but usually I don't need the alarm. I'm awake. I'm
exactly. Yeah,
awake like
exactly.
4:45, or
Yeah,
I get up before the alarm like automatically. And interestingly, once you really do Buteyko, is like for me, once my body gets like I'm sleeping too long, my breathing gets worse, I wake up, like an automatic reflex now. Like
That's what happens. Yeah,
once I'm
exactly.
trying to, once my body moves towards hyperventilation, maybe my sleeping to position changed
Yeah.
at 4 a.m. and I'm still sleeping, but the body senses like something is going off and I'm waking up usually. And that's usually the time where I check the the time and I feel like, okay, now it's 4:20. I just get up. It's okay.
That's fantastic. That's
Yeah,
fantastic. And it's very powerful. I just
yeah.
want to tell a story of my mother. My mother will soon be 86. And she was following what I'm doing the last
86. Oh yeah.
20
Hmm.
years. And she's doing keto and carnivore and Buteyko, but sometimes she stops and she starts getting symptoms like arrhythmia,
Hmm.
like that's her problem. And lately, it was 10 days ago, basically, we made a deal. Now, you get up at 5 every single morning, and then we measure after
Yeah.
1 week
Uh-huh.
the frequency of your arrhythmias, if you have better or not. And you go on strict carnivore. You are eating only lamb and beef,
Hmm.
hot, like raw, almost
Hmm.
raw. You take eggs,
All in.
all in, just all in for 10 days. That's it.
It's an interest. Yeah.
Now, today, it's a day number 9.
So, uh, eh,
No single heart problem.
yeah. That 9 days.
9 days.
Mm.
For 9 days.
9 days strict.
And she's like, she's like, I'm talking to her every day with my mother. I love my mother very much.
Yeah.
She's a great lady, and she's a great mother. She's been a great mother all my life, and we have a very good connection. And I really want to help her, and she knows that. So, and we communicate very, very good.
Mm.
So she
Nice.
says,
It's
Misha,
nice.
she's like,
And it's not
there's
easy to
nothing.
do at
No.
86 years.
At 86 years, you
Yeah,
have to be open. You
that's the
have to
crazy
be,
thing.
you have to
Yeah,
be open.
yeah,
You have to be
yeah,
open. Yeah,
yeah.
you have to be open.
Interesting.
So this is, 86 years old lady. She's living with her husband that is not following, is listening, but not really
Yeah,
to what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah,
And he likes different sweets and things like. So, and
yeah.
my mother says, okay, okay, I'll do it. Let's try. Let's make a clean study.
Yeah, yeah. It's nice. Yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay, very interesting story with your mother.
Yeah,
86 years old and completely like changing diet and doing the measurements and waking up early.
yeah.
That's great. That's a great story.
No, she's not doing measurements. She's not doing
Ah, okay.
measurements
Ah,
now,
okay, okay.
but she's doing diminished breathing.
Hmm.
She does it, and she's really trying not to speak with open with to breathe with the mouth while she's speaking. That's her
Hmm.
one of the big problems,
Hmm.
and also stress. She had a stressed life, and many people had
Hmm.
stressed lives. So
Yeah.
to change the automatical patterns, it's hard.
Hmm.
That's one of the hard things,
Hmm.
but she's really trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it? How is it in general? Like for Russian people, with Buteyko, is like, is it also in Russia a very minority of people who know about Buteyko?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
A
minority,
minority.
no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
pity. All the older people, older generation knows about it,
Mm.
but not necessarily practices, not at
Mm.
all necessarily
Yeah, yeah.
practices. So
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I couple years ago I read the Buteyko biography in English,
yeah,
and it was very inspiring how many fights he had to do with the centralized medicine and how he got attacked to his life. a couple of times,
Yeah,
and
yeah. It's a great
it's
book, actually. It's a great book
yeah.
to read.
I will
Very
link
good.
it also because not just
Yeah,
because of the method he developed, but what kind of person he was, like constantly keep going, like
it's interesting. Yeah, yeah,
laboratory destroyed and all these
yeah.
kind of things. It was very interesting. Yeah.
It's written by my first Buteyko trainer, Sergei Altukhov.
Ah, he was your trainer?
Yeah,
Ah, I see.
my first trainer.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay. Yeah, that's a question I always had. Like, is the author was he also practicing Buteyko? That's what I could not figure out. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
I see.
He was.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting stories he shares in this
Yeah,
biography. I will link it.
very
Also,
important.
it's a
Very important book.
very good book. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can get on Amazon. And yeah, so many things now we've covered. Also, in terms of the breathing, some connections also to all the life factors, some
yeah.
to nutrition. And do you see the best results with breathing values in your people doing full ketogenic, essential ketogenic carnivore, or do some people you have also get very good energy, very good sleep, very good values with, like, let's say, eat anything but just high quality, having more carbs and this. Do you have, like, can you share?
I don't have this experience basically because all people in my programs they
They do
change
keto, yeah,
they change
yeah.
nutrition, but not necessarily essential.
Mm,
But um, basically, yeah, they all of them they change to keto, some version of keto, and I feel that it's giving them. So basically, it's connecting the dots and it's giving them a synergistic
mhm,
effect.
So,
I cannot. I believe that they would also get results if they did not change to keto, but
mhm,
I'm not sure if there would be bigger or lower results. I don't think it's going to be as good results because I
mhm,
really believe that going into ketogenic and not just ketogenic, but
mhm,
experiencing ketogenic adaptation because
mhm,
that's the
yeah,
most important part. You know, in my book, I write about 4 stages of ketogenic adaptation.
yeah,
I defined, and I believe this is a very big, important part. People are also measuring in a wrong way. They think that they have to always have high ketones, and this is
mhm,
wrong. If
mhm,
if they experience adaptation, the ketones has to go down. So there's a lot of different aspects, but the glucose has to
yeah,
become stable.
yeah,
And so different aspects, and people are also a little bit different. So I believe any doesn't matter what, um, to have focus on your breathing, on your structure, on your relaxation, will give some will give good
yeah,
uh, results to you.
yeah, yeah.
Doesn't
Even,
matter whether or
yeah,
not you change your nutrition, but if you
mm,
change your nutrition, you make it more like evolutionary from a right for a human from
mm,
evolutionary perspective if you
yeah,
understand those aspects,
yeah,
and that's what we're covering in the 8 paradoxes of health in our group. So please guys, look at this free course and it will open up for all of those aspects and
yeah.
how they connect. Yeah,
I
yeah,
will link the academy also because
yeah, yeah,
the paradoxes of health series you can actually watch for free.
yeah.
So that's even these 8 videos are very valuable. So make sure you check it
Yeah,
out.
so they are crucial. They are about, they will cover sleep, they will cover nutrition, they will cover
Yeah,
breathing, they will
yeah,
also cover other aspects like science, for example, paradox of science, which I
mm,
see as one of the most important ones.
yeah.
Understand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe this is also a good last point here for today. Like, okay, science, we have all the accomplishments in modern medicine. We have crazy technologies, but which are used. But things like Buteyko and the knowledge about the physiology of breathing and what it does with the body and actually also what is normal breathing in terms of CO2 numbers in the lungs, for example. We have it in medicine. It's in the books. You can look it up in physiology books. If you look deep enough, if you do your research, you can find these values. But
Absolutely.
in the
Absolutely.
but the centralized medicine very rarely uses it.
Never,
So
never used it also.
never, basically never. Yeah.
No, no. So
So yeah,
we call it
maybe
evidence-based medicine.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, your thoughts about this.
Yeah, we're taught that we call it evidence-based medicine,
Mm,
and the evidence is an interesting thing because it's like ultimate truth. But what if the
mm.
very system designed to protect our health has become a paradox of its own? And
Yeah.
that's what my video, it's like 20 minutes. That's the longest video I have because all the videos like 7 to 10 minutes. And this video, I could only make it like 18, 20 minutes.
Mm,
It challenges the conventional view of science. And because we really need urgently to ask this question, what evidence truly means? And maybe it was like making some signals, like obscuring the signals, if you know what I mean. Your
mm,
own body is trying to send. So we have to
mm.
discover why real healing begins, not in the lab, but in your
Yeah.
awareness. And yesterday, I had a very poetic day. I wrote actually some. It's like it's like koan. You know about
Koan.
what
Yeah,
koan is?
Koan. Yeah, I know, I
Koan.
know.
Yeah. So I wrote some koans yesterday, and the this thing that I want to tell you also, like koan about life and
Mhm.
health. I also wrote it, but also I wrote another one yesterday, actually about science, and it's like four short lines. We built temples of logic called safety. But what if healing begins not when I read the proof, but when I can sense my pulse?
Mhm. No, yeah, okay. Not when I read the. Can you say?
The,
Can you say maybe again?
we build temples of logic
Yeah.
called safety.
Hmm.
But what if healing begins not when I read the proof, but when I can sense my pulse?
Hmm.
Not like this, but
Hmm.
just like this.
Hmm.
So to increase your sensitivity. And some people that are high sensitivity, like myself, I can sense my pulse in movement
Hmm.
without measuring it here.
Hmm. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Um, it's nice, the nice koan, because they're usually short but very dense, and the koan is also targeted towards making you think about something, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I also wrote another one, but when where we are through, I will,
Yeah.
it's a double as long because it's about life and health. So
Okay.
yeah,
We can. Yeah, it's nice. Thank you for sharing your
thank you so much.
personal poems.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, yeah.
think maybe also for the listeners, like one pointed attention, one koan is enough for one episode. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a
it's
good,
enough.
it's a good,
It's
yeah,
enough. It's enough
yeah.
to think about. Maybe.
Absolutely, I believe. Yeah, yeah. So it's great. We will have it for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's, I think, wrap it up for today. It was so much information again for our listeners, and I will
Hmm.
make a recap again. Like for our last episode, I made two recap episodes in German to make
Hmm.
it digestible for people. And I think
Hmm.
this episode, I will also probably make two 20 to 30-minute episodes in German to wrap it up for the people. It was great, great insight. I think we covered Buteyko and the connection to all the other aspects. We covered pretty dense and make it understandable also for people just starting this path or looking for how can I integrate all these things together to make it a stable and working process. I think you did a good job.
No,
Uh,
it was a
yeah,
conversation,
yeah.
and we've been talking about very, very deep and very important things, very crucial
Mhm.
things that we have to
Yeah.
value ourselves very much in what we are doing also,
Yeah.
and not just forget, because if we don't value ourselves, nobody will do it.
Yeah, definitely. And also on this deep level, like we could make a podcast like 10 tips to improve your breathing, but it does not give you much if you don't have this foundational understanding of how it all connects together, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why it was another great talk. And again, thank you for your time. I know you have lots of stuff to do. You're a busy man. You love your work, but you always take the time to talk to me and to give this information that's free to the people, so they can discover it for their own.
We need to inspire each other, basically. That's what it is. It's not necessarily about information, but it's about inspiration with some pictures, with some ideas, with some visions.
Yeah, exactly. Information can be it's a two-sided sword, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Information is not necessarily education. It's, right. Perfect.
Now you're talking.
No, we can start. We do the next episode after this. Let's cover this.
Yeah.
Great. Oh man, Misha, thank you so much. I think this was certainly not the last time. We will have more talks in the future. We can see when it fits and everything. And I'm just looking forward to connecting with you, talking again soon. And thank you very much for your time and energy.
The same here, Philip. I'm also always very excited talking to you, because we have a good energetic connection. So thank you very much for watching, all of you guys that are going to watch this through, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I
hope so too. And check out Misha's Hara Practice community on School. I will put the link. Like I said, the Paradoxes series is free, and you can check all the other programs if you're curious. Yeah,
sure.
Make sure you check it out.
Very good.
All right. So see you next time, guys. Thank you, Misha, and have a nice week, everybody.
Have a nice week. Thank you, Philip.
Wenn dir diese Folge gefallen hat, dann abonniere gerne meinen YouTube-Kanal, um keine weitere Folge zu verpassen. Like die Folge und teile sie auch gerne mit Menschen, die ebenfalls nach natürlichen Lösungen suchen. Wenn du dir Unterstützung und einen strukturierten individuellen Prozess wünschst, kannst du dir über meine Website philippbrinkmann.com ein kostenloses Beratungsgespräch buchen. Dann unterhalten wir uns 30 Minuten, lernen uns kennen und können schauen, ob und wie ich dir helfen kann. Das Ganze ist natürlich komplett unverbindlich und kostenfrei. Lade dir auch gerne mein kostenloses E-Book runter auf philippbrinkmann.com/freebie, um einen kompakten Einstieg in das ganze Thema Atmung zu bekommen. Vielen Dank und bis zur nächsten Folge.